All right, stand by. 10 seconds.
Camera one.
Count.
Ready, camera two.
And cue talent.
1.
Roll for record.
Hey terrorists, do you like jihad on your Facebook page? No problem. Welcome to America. I'm John Phillips, and this is The Rundown. Numerous reports indicate that San Bernardino murderer and ISIS fangirl Tafshin Malik passed no less than 3 U.S. visa screenings, despite the fact that she'd posted online multiple times she approved of violent jihad and wanted to be part of it. FBI Director James Comey is denying these reports, but it actually doesn't matter because it turns out the Department of Homeland Security has a policy that specifically forbids employees from checking any social media posts of potential immigrants or visa recipients. In fact, Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson reviewed and chose to keep that policy just last year because the administration was afraid of bad PR if they were caught checking into an immigrant's Facebook pages. This from the man whose #1 job is keeping America safe. Helps you sleep better at night, doesn't it? Donald Trump also suggested in the last GOP debate that he would try to close the internet to jihadists as a weapon of propaganda, or at least make sure we were monitoring their every action online. That suggestion resulted in some cheers, but also some loud boos from the audience, which baffled the Donald, who said, "I just can't imagine why somebody is booing. These are people that want to kill us, folks. And you're objecting to us infiltrating their conversations? I don't think so," end quote. Should we be more willing to try to deny these terrorists free use of the internet? Can we at least check their Facebook messages? Or is online privacy all important? Joining me to figure all this out is author and political satirist Scott Ott. He's in Dallas, Texas, and here in Southern California, stand-up comic and PJTV contributor Stephen Cruiser. Cruiser, would you ever go out on a blind date with someone without checking their social media accounts?
This is absolutely ridiculous. And Carly Fiorina's brought this up several times recently, too. I mean, my daughter is a senior in high school. She just changed her Facebook name to a fake one because colleges look at all the kids, look at potential applicants' Facebook pages. Every employer in America is out checking everybody's Facebook pages. So the fact that it's some big invasion of privacy, or the notion that it's a big invasion of privacy, is patently ridiculous. And that we can't look at it to screen potential terrorists. This is, I'm trying to figure out if this is stupid or if this is PC run amok. I can't put my. I think at the root of the, you know, at the root of this is that this administration and everyone involved with it does not take Islamic terrorism seriously. That's really what this has to come down to, because this is just absolutely insane.
They don't want to be called racist. They don't want to be called anti-Islamic. They're more afraid of that than they are of us being killed. And you know, Scott, I read a report in the New York Times that came out prior to the ABC News report about the internal conflict within the Obama administration. And they said that we didn't do it for 2 reasons. They said we didn't do it because we don't have the manpower to check all of these accounts. And also because so many of these potential immigrants post so many negative things about the United States online that it's impossible to tell if they're part of ISIS or they're just a run-of-the-mill America hater. Well, if that's the options that we have, why take them in the first place?
Well, yeah, and also, they probably didn't mention this, but there's a chance that they may wind up sweeping up half of the Democratic Party in that dragnet as well. So if you see the kinds of comments they make about America, you know, I think that it's really John Phillips and Stephen Cruiser's fault that Jay Johnson, the Director of Homeland Security, made this decision. And that is because people like you jumped down his throat when they were sweeping up everybody's phone calls and email communications and stuff like that. And you said that's a bad thing. And this was a black eye for the department and for the NSA and stuff like that. We don't want our government digging into people's personal communications. And so they said, oh, this could be really embarrassing if it comes out that we've been prying into Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat or whatever. Now, James Comey, by the way, the latest news that we had as we went to tape with this show is that James Comey of the FBI was saying not that Tashfeen Malik did not say negative things or advocate for ISIS on social media, but that she did it in a private message. So if it was on Facebook, for example, it wasn't something she posted on her page, but something she sent through private messages. That's another layer that makes it more difficult to find out. But I think, you know, seriously, I suggested this elsewhere, but if you want to come into this country and get a visa application, I think the first thing you should have to do is befriend Jay Johnson on Facebook. So
Well, he
I
needs to
think
learn how to spell his name right if I'm going to find him.
Access.
Well, here's another
That's
thing
right.
that we learned
True,
from the
if
New York Times
J-E-H
report.
is not the ordinary spelling.
That's true. ABC News is not denying their report that she posted it publicly. So yes, the FBI director is saying that. ABC News has not issued a retraction on that. Also, we know from the New York Times report that she went to a school that was very traditional in their description in terms of teaching the Muslim faith. And the sister posted publicly something that was so incendiary about 9/11 on her Facebook page that they wouldn't even print what she said. And she was their authority saying, oh no, this woman isn't extreme at all. So you don't really have to dig that far to find out who hates us or who wants to cause harm here, do you?
No, and even if you had to, I reject the whole idea that you can't. I mean, we can monitor people's conversations and what they're doing from space right now, okay? If you're telling me there's nobody involved anywhere in the U.S. government who has the technological expertise to pry into Facebook private messages, I don't believe that whatsoever. And I'm okay. I mean, Scott hit on something. You know, I'm not a big fan of them spying on American citizens all the time, but I'm spy on the rest of the world all day long. Be as invasive as you want to be with people who want to come in from another country, especially one where things may be problematic religiously, like Pakistan, as our president is fond of saying. Yeah, spy on them to the nth degree right now, and it's garbage to think that we don't have anybody who can look at their private messages.
At what point did liberals decide that foreigners have constitutional rights?
No, it's the opposite. It's like, screw the Bill of Rights if you're an American conservative, but you want to come in from Pakistan, then, you know, well, okay, we're going to give you a whole new constitution to protect you.
You know what this is to me, Scott? This is the degradation of American citizenship by the left. They're willing to bring people into this country who hate our guts, and they're also willing to say, you know what? Being an American, yeah, you're entitled to constitutional rights, but we think everyone else in the world is entitled to them too. No, American citizenship actually means something, or at least it used to.
You know, I just wonder how many of these people would apply that same standard to their own homes. If, you know, Farouk said he was going to bring his new Pakistani bride that he met at the Hajj into your home next Thursday night, would you not go to Facebook and sniff around a little bit and maybe look at some of her sister's posts or whatever and say, okay, who are these people that I don't know? And I don't think there's anything wrong with telling people who want to come to this country, look, everybody acknowledges we got a problem with terrorism in this country and around the world. We are going to take sensible precautions, so you need to be as open with us as you possibly can be about your allegiances. And we welcome you, but we also, you know, I don't think it's a sin on my part to say, I'd rather not be shot through the head with a .223 round.
Here's what I think this is. I think it's a hear no evil, see no evil approach by the Obama administration. They know that if they actually did a proper job vetting these people, that they would have to deny citizenship to a huge number of them.
I wouldn't disagree with that, but I'm sticking with my original thing that they just don't take this seriously. This is not prioritized with this administration at all. It doesn't matter how many of these attacks happen. I mean, he comes out and it's a gun control thing. It's not terrorism. It's domestic thing. It's always some focus on something. They don't prioritize this at all. They don't take it seriously. They've gotten to the point where they compartmentalize so much. There's no cognitive dissonance. They've got it locked in this. They got Al Gore's lockbox from the 2000 election over here that they put all of that in, and they pay no attention to it whatsoever.
Well, based on how they've behaved in this case, I think their genitals are in that lockbox too.
Thank you.
All right. That's all the time we have for today, not a minute too soon. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Should the U.S. make more of an effort to interdict or at least detect terrorists online? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm John Phillips. Thanks so much for watching The Rundown.